Hey, Michael here. We're going to run a histogram using our histogram.mtw data file. So we will start with, this time, graph. Normally we hit stat, but we're going to go to graph, histogram, and you're going to get a couple options here. Simple with fit simply gives you a fitted line for a bell curve type distribution. With groups or with fit and groups. And so we're just going to select with fit because I want to see that fitted line for the distribution. And then we'll say OK. And what variables are we going to do this histogram based on? And it's going to be thickness. And I think we don't need to select any other options. We're going to say OK. And the output we get is a histogram of our thickness data from first and second shift. And you can see the red dotted line is that fitted line. And the mean, standard deviation, and number of data points. So you get a graphical depiction as well as some minor diagnostic information. So this is running a histogram. We have looked at running normality tests. We have also looked at graphical summary and now histogram. And so what I wanted to do was just stop for a moment and kind of collect our thoughts around those three particular sets of activities or assessments of our data: normality, histogram, and graphical summary. Normality and histogram both can be achieved through your graphical summary. And so one of the reasons I said earlier it's one of the go-to tools that I use is because it does accomplish several things. So having to run a histogram all by itself is almost never a necessity when you can have a histogram with your graphical summary data and all the other information that comes along with it. The normality test is the same way. There's really no reason to run just the normality test when you get the Anderson-Darling p-value through the graphical summary output. So we'll take a look at this data real quick using the graphical summary. We're going to go stat, basic stat, graphical summary, variables by thickness, say OK. And so we'll take a look at these side by side. Here's our graphical summary, and it's giving us a p-value of 0.009, telling us it's lower than 0.05, and therefore we shall reject the null hypothesis and conclude that the data are not normal. We also have, get rid of this. We also have diagnostic information that the graphical summary gives us versus the histogram, kind of sparse in terms of the diagnostic information. So we get normality, we get a histogram, and we get diagnostics from our graphical summary, and it accomplishes both normality as well as histogram. So graphical summary tool is the way to go, and my recommendation, and it can replace the histogram and the normality test quite simply, unless you need for normality to do something other than the Anderson-Darling. So graphical summary is my way to go, even though this is a histogram video.